Hello, everybody.
How's it going? We're a couple minutes late. We just had everything happen at once.
Everything always happens at
yeah,
once.
I feel really far away from that camera.
Should I bring it closer?
I don't know. Maybe just a little bit closer. I just still want you to see what's going on this table here.
Probably
But
gonna make it cricket in a
very,
second.
very far.
Yeah,
okay, that's good.
You're true.
Okay, cool.
Right.
Hi. How's
Okay.
it going? How are you doing?
So, guys, today Michelle's gonna make this amazing thing. What are you making?
I'm gonna make a granola, a really easy granola, healthy granola, and it's oil-free, which is pretty amazing because most granolas contain some kind of oil to bind everything together. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm just gonna show you what it looks like. Hi. When the finished product, or what the finished product looks like, because it does take some time to bake. But that's the finished product. And of course you can kind of make it to suit whatever you like in granola. I'm gonna give you lots of options. I like my granola really simple and I like it to taste vanilla-y. And I always find when you make your own granola at home, it's always like, meh, that was okay. But this one is really nice. It has a hint of sweetness and I'm using maple.
A hint, not a half a kilo of sugar.
Yeah, it's not full of sugar. I'm using maple syrup and dates. I've actually got these soaking and I think that's kind of, without spilling
That's the
it,
key, yeah.
that kind of makes it really nice.
Cool.
So let me run through the ingredients real quick so I don't forget that. So
Husband.
I have got, you can be my Vanna White. You can
I can
take
be
up
a
the
husband.
thing.
I'm the first ingredient to this whole kitchen.
Yes, the first ingredient is a loving husband. The second ingredient is a cup of groats. So these are buckwheat groats.
These look gross.
And then we're using 1.5 cups of, I'm using steel cut oats, which is not a typical granola. Normally you see rolled oats, but I'm using them because they're less processed and honestly it's just what I had, but it will work if you have rolled oats. The next would just be finding whatever you want to put inside of it. So I've chosen, go ahead, chia seeds. I've chosen slivered almonds.
Slivered almonds. Slivered.
And I've chosen coconut flakes. But the beauty of,
Too
you
bright.
can't see. The beauty of this is that you can put whatever you want. So say you wanted to put like walnuts in, or you wanted to put, I don't know, what would you like to have in a granola?
Everything.
Okay, if say you want to put everything in there, you could do that. So with each of those, I'm going to put about 1 tablespoon to 3 tablespoons each of the chia seeds, the slivered almonds, and the
You just walked
and the coconut flakes. But if you don't like any of those, you don't have to put any of them in, or you could put whatever kind of nut or seed that you want to put in. I like the chia seeds because they kind of bind with the liquid, making like crunchy, you know, like clusters. So I think chia seeds are a
You can
must.
put like dried strawberries or dried fruits, no?
Yeah, you absolutely could.
So dried berries, dried strawberries, dried mango, dried banana, dried
Everything, really.
everything.
I just feel like if you're gonna put dried fruit in there, I didn't put it in mine because I just don't have any. But you need to put it at the end. So once you've taken it out of the oven, then mix in the dried fruit. Okay, so what else do we have here? I've got 1/2 cup of the maple syrup with 3 pitted dates, and I'm letting that soak probably like for an hour before I do anything. And I'm gonna add maybe a little bit of water in that with the blender just to make like this paste to keep it all stuck together.
Yep.
And then I'm doing vanilla extract. I'm gonna do about 1 teaspoon of that. You could always do 2 if you really like vanilla. And then the secret ingredient is using aquafaba, which is just the water from the chickpea can. So I'm using 1/4 cup of that. I'll show you how it kind of, you whisk it and it turns into like this kind of meringue looking thing. But that's the thing that's gonna bind everything together. And a pinch of salt. And then I need to set the oven for 325. 325, start. And you just need a baking sheet with a parchment paper on top. So no oil involved here, super healthy. It looks really beautiful. We just took some photos. Yeah, I'll let you show what that looks like. So you could eat this with, you know, yogurt or berries or just even some kind of plant milk. So let me get into showing you how to make all this. So the first thing I'm gonna do, I guess we should have shown that at the end.
Oh yeah.
Is put this maple syrup and date mixture into the Vitamix.
By the way, look at this brand new Vitamix.
Yeah.
I don't know if you see it. They get
Let's
us.
not ruin it.
What's
Oh,
it?
that looks delicious. Yeah,
Yeah.
super.
So they give us like this whole picture.
Yeah,
Because our broke, there's something happened with the Vitamix after like 8 years, which is pretty impressive thing. We paid 99 bucks for whatever. I shouldn't probably touch that.
And I shouldn't lick the bowl.
For
Sorry.
whatever, for whatever the problem was, and they fixed everything. What I've seen on the thing, they fixed motor, they fixed like all this stuff inside.
So let's not do a repeat of me putting the wrong tamper in here and breaking something else.
Well, this one will be shorter, so
Yeah.
it'll be okay. And they give us a new picture because
Yeah, it looks
like,
beautiful.
It looks so clean. So
So
we only do this for presentation, only for you. This is your picture, guys.
Yeah, it's the video picture. Okay,
video picture.
so I put the maple syrup and the dates in there. If it gets a little too thick, you can always add a tablespoon of water at a time. You don't want it to be too runny, but just so it's like kind of a paste.
You do that.
Okay. Like this. Wow, you can really see through that picture.
Yeah. Picture is amazing.
I'm gonna add a little bit of water. Since we got
I think I'm gonna call them. And listen, there's the story, right? So we went to St. Martin. I think it was in St. Martin, and we've seen like those posters, you know, of like a disco people and like the things. And anyway,
go ahead.
And there's this lady who was like, and since then we are just making fun of it for like how many years? 10 or whatever.
Yeah, it's
not
probably
funny
not funny at all.
But it's hilarious in my head.
So we're gonna take the aquafaba, which is just the chickpea bean water. And I'm going to now just mix it with this electric whisk. If you whisk is the word. If you don't have an electric whisk, then you could do like a beater, like a beater. I don't know my words. I missed the first part. Can you write out the recipe in the comments? I can't wait to try. It'll be in the video. Everything will be there, Michelle. Don't worry. So that you have all the ratios and everything like that. Okay, so I'm gonna take this electric whisk and I'm going to just start to whisk. And you can maybe do a close-up of this.
Yeah, let's do it.
This might take about 5 minutes or a little bit less. When I made it earlier, it was much less. So you just wanna whisk it until little peaks form. You can make this a little bit higher. A little spray. Getting there.
That's very foamy.
So you can see how little peaks are beginning to form, but it needs a little bit longer. Okay, so that's probably good enough. It's super frothy and foamy, and you can see little peaks. Now I'm gonna take that maple syrup mixture that I made, and I'm gonna put it in there. And then can you get a teaspoon of vanilla ready?
Yeah. Do you need this anymore?
Yeah, I'm gonna whisk it again.
Oh, you're gonna whisk it again.
Yeah.
Okay. Teaspoon of vanilla, yes.
If you can't reach it, I can get it.
I got it.
Okay, so I'm just gonna take that as much out of there with a whisk as I can. And a teaspoon of vanilla will go in here along with the maple
Good
syrup.
that she actually said it, because I was just about to put it here. Wait, there's okay.
There's not a lot in there.
Whoa, ready?
Okay, perfect, yeah. So then I'm just gonna whisk it again for like 30 seconds.
It's very good I wear white t-shirts, by the way. That's like perfect. Here we go.
I should have gotten a bigger bowl because this is definitely spring.
I'm gonna go away from it.
Okay, so that's all I'm doing with that. If you want to plug in whatever you had plugged in, go for it.
We need to charge the phone.
Yeah, go for it. We don't have
and here comes the live silence video. All right, so.
Okay, so now I'm gonna mix the dry ingredients. I mean, essentially you could have done this before. So this is for you, Michelle. This is a cup of buckwheat groats and 1.5 cups of steel cut oats. And then your desired amount of whatever you want to have in there as far as like dried ingredients. I'm gonna do a tablespoon of chia seeds because I feel like once it mixes in with the liquid, it binds to make little clusters. So I'm gonna do a tablespoon of chia seeds. And I'm gonna do a tablespoon of slivered almonds. And I measured this out before. about a tablespoon or 2 tablespoons of coconut flakes. Whatever you want to put in your granola is what you should put in your granola.
Slivered almond sounds like some kind of a snake. Wait, we are cricket.
We're very crooked. And I'm going to do a pinch of salt. Just a little pinch or two because then it's salty and it's sweet. I'm having trouble speaking.
And I'm having trouble.
Then you take your liquid and you just pour it into the dry ingredients and you mix. I've set the oven at 325, like I said. We're so crooked.
I don't know how to fix it. Our tripod is just getting really, sorry guys for that finger, really old and getting, not tripod, the ending of it. There we go.
Okay.
Yay!
Okay. Now you can't see any of the ingredients, but hey, we're straight. So I'm gonna take this and I'm just gonna begin to mix it, and I'll come closer so you can see what's going on.
Yeah, you come closer, or I can do it.
Okay, just mix it.
Eli is very good at mixing, by the way, guys. He's very good at mixing.
So you just mix it until it's coated well. And you know, I added a tablespoon of water into the little maple syrup and date mix, which was half a cup of maple syrup and 3 pitted dates. But you want to make sure you don't add too much water or else it's like super liquidy, right? So that's a good consistency. Everything is coated well. And then can you get me the parchment paper baking sheet?
You want a spoon too?
Yeah. And now I'm just going to put this onto the parchment paper and we'll give you a close-up of this so you can see as well. And then you just want to kind of make it a nice flat sheet so that everything is exposed to heat. Now it's going to depend on your oven how long you do this, but for my oven, I'm at a high altitude. I did at 325. We live in the
Himalayas, you know, like far away.
We mine our own black salt. I did 325, and I did a total of 35 minutes, checking in between, and then flipping it or just kind of tossing it around in between. It's going to depend on how browned you want your granola to be. But
let me check on Eli, it's very quiet.
Yeah, it's very quiet back there. The thing that you want to be looking for is that it's kind of like a golden brown, and here you can show that. When it's ready, it's like a golden brown and maybe just a little bit toasted. I have a granola body. I'm wearing a granola dress.
You don't match your dress to granola.
So that's all you do. That is the granola. Pack it on there nice and well with the parchment paper because you don't need any oil or anything like that. Then you're going to pop it in the oven, and like I said, about 35 minutes. We'll pretend I preheated this earlier, so that's at 370, 325 already.
On the middle one, not on the top.
On the middle rack. And our oven is weird because the back end gets hotter than the front end. So if you see that that's happening with your oven, just turn the tray around.
I think we missed some comments, so sorry. We just were turning back, so
sorry.
we couldn't see.
Then I'm using a wooden spatula like halfway through my time. So I would say just put a timer on and check it every 10 to 15 minutes. See how it's going, and then you can flip it.
Never mind. Sorry, I thought there's a comments here section, no? Somehow.
I don't know.
Nope. We better not disconnect. Okay.
So anyways, halfway through, just kind of stir it around with a spatula of some sort and make sure that it gets equally browned, and that is it. So this is what the final product looks like, and we messed up because we showed you before, but it's really good. It's crunchy. I really like those buckwheat groats because they're kind of like, they provide a crunch, like a, kind of like a Rice Krispie-ish crunch.
And then you can just mix it with yogurt. Just mix it.
We're using in that bowl, we used a cashew yogurt, but you could use any kind of plant-based yogurt, a coconut yogurt, I don't know, there's so many out there that you could use.
Yeah.
I know if you're allergic to nuts, Cynthia, this is for you. You could maybe do a soy yogurt if you're not allergic
She's like,
to soy.
now the whole world knows that I'm allergic to nuts. Thank you very much.
Sorry, but I know that there's more than one person who is allergic to nuts, so I just want to throw that out there, but I also know that she always asks about substitution. So a soy yogurt would work. We use things like strawberries and blueberries. It's really good. You know what I would like to... Are you eating with a fork?
Well,
it's yogurt with a fork.
The fork is the issue because I didn't have a clean spoon and I need it for photo, so that's why.
This is really good. Actually, you could totally have this for breakfast, but
improvising.
To me, this is kind of like a good afternoon snack because it's sweet and crunchy, and you know, you're still getting lots of fruits in there.
Do you guys have this when you're feeding somebody, you're opening your own mouth?
Did I just do that?
No, but I always do this.
Anyways,
it's hilarious.
It's really good. But, joking, what I wanted to say...
Look, he's abusing his wife.
That I really think, I didn't try it yet because I just made up this recipe honestly. I made up the recipe, then I cooked it to make sure it worked, and then we did the live. So, but I'm thinking that this would taste really good kind of as a cereal substitute. Like if you wanted to do this with a plant-based milk of your choice, and then you could top it with fruit.
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead, you have so much to talk about over there. Go ahead. Let's hear what you'd like to talk about. Aww.
You talk.
Anyways. I wonder what happened. Yeah. So I think that this would work really well as kind of like a cereal. If you put this in some kind of glass jar, like a mason jar, with a lid, you could store this probably in your pantry for a good 2 to 3 weeks, or you could even freeze it. What the heck just happened?
So you know, like I'm like trying to impress my boy, and I'm like running and I jump on the bed, but what I didn't notice without looking,
all those hangers were there.
all the hangers were there. I like run onto it.
Oh man. Okay.
Anyway.
Yes, that's a recipe. What did you want to say?
It's a very nice and light, like breakfast. You know, like when you're like, oh, I don't know what to eat. Like sandwich is too much, something is too much, the other something is too much.
Breakfast problems.
You're like, oh, let's make something light. Perfect.
Hired for the commercial. Okay, so for you, Michelle, I'm just gonna run through the ingredients one more time, just to make sure I said everything. So we've got 1 cup of buckwheat groats, 1.5 cup of steel cut oats. What did you say? But you could use rolled oats if you have those instead. I think either one would work. A tablespoon to 3 tablespoons each of whatever kind of nut or seed you want to put in. I did chia seed, slivered almonds, and coconut flakes. Slivered almonds.
It sounds like a rattlesnake wash.
And then in the Vitamix, I mixed together ½ cup of maple syrup and 3 pitted dates. I let those soak in a bowl together for about an hour before I mix them. If that seems like it's too much sugar for you, do 1/3 cup of maple syrup. It's not gonna be as sweet, but then you don't have as much, maple syrup. And then I did a teaspoon of vanilla, but you could do 2 if you want it to be really vanilla-y. And then 1/4 cup of aquafaba, which is just the chickpea canned bean water, which aquafaba sounds much more exotic than bean water. I did a pinch of salt. And that was it. I mixed the aquafaba for a couple minutes, as you saw, until peaks formed. Then I added the maple syrup date to the aquafaba as well as the vanilla. Mixed it in with the dry ingredients, and that was it. I stuck it in the oven at 325 for total about 35 minutes, but definitely keep checking on it. You don't want it to burn and get ruined. So do that, and then you can have it.
Kids will love it.
Yeah, I really do think this is great for kids and adults. You can have this on the go. Have it as a cereal, have it with yogurt, or just have it on top of your fruit.
Yeah, it's a good like a lunch too, like in a school, for example. Like,
Yeah, if you did like kind of like a bento box, you could have. We are just on the verge of disaster constantly. You could have like a little bit of granola, a little bit of fruit, a little bit of yogurt, or something like that on the side. So I see that you've enjoyed it. The whole thing is gone. I won't be eating any today.
Nope.
One tricky thing that I want to say. Oh, I guess I could have this platter. I still have this to eat, so it's fine. If you're making granola with chia seeds, check your teeth often, because it doesn't feel like you have any chia seeds in your teeth, and then all of a sudden, chia seed. Perfect, thank you, you're welcome, you're welcome.
Like, okay, we're done now.
She's like, we got it.
It's like, okay, we got it, time to go.
Actually, I do feel like we're done.
No, we're good, thank you.
We're definitely good. Stay tuned for
Lunches.
Lunches are gonna be next. I have no idea what we're gonna make, but that's gonna be the next 3 lives on Monday will be some kind of lunch. So if you have some suggestion of something you wanna see, a nursery tour. Yeah, we could do a nursery tour. We have no nursery set up, but when we set our things up, we absolutely will.
We are actually managed, no, not managed. We are actually in the making of remaking the room.
What?
The baby room.
We need to redo Eli's room, because I always was saying, like, I want to get his room done before the next baby comes. It's literally bare as a bone in there. There's nothing in there. So we can share that with you. We can share with you the setup for the new baby and what we're going to do with that. But we have to do it first. But then I'll film it and I'll share it with you, absolutely. But if you have any lunch ideas that you want to see, or any video ideas in general, please let me know, because I'm always wanting to make things that are, helpful to you guys and interesting to you guys. So definitely let us know. that's granola, and that's today. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Please be safe and healthy and of a sober and wonderful, happy mind in this crazy time that we're going through right now. Pizza, Alfredo sauce. Ooh, is that what that says?
Wait a second.
That sounds like an, oh, it's gone. That sounds like an absolutely lovely
did you eat
idea.
it?
I made pizza the other day, but I ate the rest of it yesterday. So, but I can share that recipe with you, absolutely.
You could share this recipe with me.
I could also have shared it with you, but you weren't here and I just ate it. Okay, so anyways, that's what happens when you're pregnant, you just eat everything. Have a wonderful day, you guys. I'm gonna come over here.
I'm gonna be the back as always.
Have a great day, and
Bye,
hopefully I don't
guys.
have chia seeds in my teeth. I hope you try this recipe, let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys soon.
Bye, ciao, ciao.